All right. Well, I guess we're live. Todd Haselton, are you there?
How you doing? There we go.
There we go. Todd, hell, hey everybody. I'm John Fortt. We're from CNBC TechCheck, and we're just bringing the full resources of CNBC to bear to find the truth about Apple AirTags. Todd, how many you got?
I have 5 of them. I got a 4-pack sent to me and a single pack. So I have them right here if you want to see them. Just a little. They look like about the size of a quarter, John. Maybe a little bit bigger. So like a bit bigger than dollar. So yeah.
Todd Haselton, of course, from CNBC.com, product reviewer extraordinaire. So the idea behind AirTags is that they're going to help me find my lost stuff, right?
Right. So you've heard of Tile, and they're very upset with Apple over this. They're like little coins that you attach to a keychain, for example. Here's one with a keychain. You put it on your backpack, put it in the backpack, you attach it to an umbrella, something like that. And then what you do is you open up the Find My app on your iPhone, where you might normally go to see your iPad or your computer or your phone to find out if it's lost. And now you can see lost items that are attached to these AirTags. So you can see on a map where you might have left your umbrella or something like that.
So is this working by all of the iOS devices in the world out there that are connected, reporting back on the tags that they are able to find? I mean, anonymously, I guess, but is that how this is working?
Yeah, so it's almost 1 billion devices out there around the world. I know Apple added it to MacBooks a couple years back. So it's iPhones and MacBooks using Bluetooth, and on some models, the iPhone 11 and iPhone 12. We'll talk about that in a sec, ultra wideband. But what it does is it creates this mesh network, right? So all these devices are talking to each other anonymously. And if somebody's iPhone, say you left your umbrella in a park, and somebody with an iPhone walks by, the two Bluetooth signals, say it goes about 30 feet, say, they interact. And so
This is AirTag.
Was spotted here because somebody with a device that was also broadcasting walked past it. But it also works in a different way. That person would get a notification on their device. Even Android users, they could pick it up and tap the back. That then displays, if you put it in lost mode, your phone number and how to contact you so they can get it back to you, if they're willing to do that.
Right. I wonder, is every Apple device now, does it have the potential to be an AirTag? So like right now, if your device loses power or loses a connection, I guess, Find My probably wouldn't work. But with this technology, is it possible to have, either a dead device or the case on its device become this tag-enabled beacon?
Yeah, it does work, actually. I believe with some iPhones, it works when, even if it powers down, especially for last location. But it is convenient for that because it's so low power. So this lasts a year for battery. So you can see like just this little thing. If an iPhone has a full battery, then it'll last a lot longer than that. But the idea, I think, is that we could see this being built into more of Apple products. It's already in AirPods and stuff like that. But without this ultra wideband, which these have, and what that does is it allows you to take an iPhone 11 or 12, and if an item's lost in your house, it points you directly to it because that ultra wideband's really shortwave radio, so it can pinpoint down to like the exact inch. You'll walk up to where it's hiding. And what I'd like to see that built into, as we're talking about building into Apple products, are things like the Apple TV remote, which people might lose in a cushion or something like that, and this would allow you to find it right away. But I think also worth noting is that this is also where some controversies come in. It's what Tile's upset about. They were in front of Congress yesterday. So to use some of these chips, like that ultra wideband, Tile can't because it's locked down by Apple inside the iPhone. So the complaint is that, well, Apple is copying our product and then adding this additional feature that we would have liked to have added too, but we're not allowed to. And already Tile's at a disadvantage because I think its network's somewhere around 26 million devices compared to the almost 1 billion for Apple. And that just means there's 1 billion devices that can help you find your thing versus 26 million that can help you find it. So if you're not around a lot of Tile users, can be harder for you to pinpoint it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm torn on this one. I guess you have to decide whether or not Apple has monopoly power legally before you can decide whether it's an abuse of that power for them to use the ecosystem they've built to their own advantage. I mean, what are they just supposed to give away access just because? I don't know. I mean,
no, I don't think so. I'm with you. We could, we'll leave it to the lawmakers. I'm with you. I think, this is capitalism. They built the product. They can continue to build on it. And that's just sort of how it works, right? But
so how much are these things? Different price for the one-off versus the pack?
Yeah, so $29 for the one-off, one of these, and then a pack of 4, and you can get them with these little emojis on it. It's kind of hard to see. There's a unicorn. A pack of 4 is $99. They go on sale tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, I believe, and then begin shipping. They'll be in retail at April 30th.
Is there a battery life issue? How long do they last?
They last a year, and actually they have this back part. You push it in and twist it counterclockwise, and you could pop out the battery and put a new one in, and it uses a watch battery, the same style as that you'd find in like a Walgreens or whatever. Pop that in, which is pretty cool considering it's also water resistant. So they've somehow shielded that battery, and you can get it wet. And it also separates it from other products like Tile, for example, where you don't necessarily have a user replaceable battery.
That's important. So it's the battery that lasts a year, as long as it should last longer than that if you switch out the battery, right?
Yeah. You could. Yeah, this device should continue to last a while. I don't see why it would, necessarily break, although it's possible.
How heavy is it? I mean, is it really lightweight? Could you? I mean, a dog could probably put that in a collar, but a cat, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's not that heavy, but it's heavier than like a quarter. It feels really light. You could put a bunch in your pocket. You could probably put it around a cat's neck. I think a larger cat. I don't know though. It's the funny thing with the tracking dog or a cat. I suppose it would work around the house if you wanted to just make the noise or ultra wideband it. But if they went far away, they'd have to run near somebody with an iPhone, sort of, or keep passing them to really track them down. Since it's not using GPS, that's how it has longer battery life too.
Right, but I guess the idea here is that people keep their phones with them, and probably easily 1 out of every 2 or 1 out of every 3 people in the U.S. right now that's got a phone has an iOS device. So chances are, if your pet or your object gets anywhere near a person over a period of time, as long as it's not lost in a closet or in a sewer drain somewhere, somebody's probably going to pass by it.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so compelling, that they have this network that exists already, and then they're just tapping into it. And so anybody who walks in front of it or walks nearby it can contact you and help you find your lost item. But one of the things I noted in my story, though, is that it doesn't necessarily prevent theft because of that user removable battery. If somebody doesn't want to return something to you, they can still, pop out the AirTag and the battery and toss it or whatever. So, it's really, you're still relying on people to be kind and do the right thing and return it. But I think most of the time, if it's an object, you'll get it back.
But which though leads me to my question about that, which is, isn't the strategy to figure out ways to disguise the presence of an AirTag? Like ideally, if you're going to put this on a bike, don't you want like some kind of place under the seat where you put the thing where somebody doesn't even know it's there and it's completely obscured, so they don't have the opportunity to remove it, and you do have the opportunity to find the item otherwise. It's different for like with your keys or remote. Sure, you're not going to be able to obscure it, but if you're putting this on a bike or with your child, right, you want to figure out a way to disguise it so that anybody who has ill intent isn't able to take it off.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's why I like the size of it, because you just easily try to hide it in something, even a backpack, hope nobody goes looking for it. But there are third-party companies now that Apple opened up its Find My network to. So that includes, there's an electric bike maker, for example, and they're just building it into the bike itself. I think the bike starts at like $2,000, so it's not for everybody. But you can see where this might go if another bike maker wants to make a more affordable bike that also taps into this network. You can see a lot more devices building into it.
Huh. Wait, now run that back by me again. They're doing what?
So there's a bike maker. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but Apple a couple weeks ago, last week, announced that they're opening up the Find My network to third parties as well. So if a company and like this bike maker wants to build a Find My product into its bike, like it did, it built a bike. So you open your phone the same way you would find these, you could then find your bike, and there's nothing on the bike to remove. So it's just built into the innards of it. And I think we might see other products like that too. Tile,
so then
for
it becomes
example,
like LoJack.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
And I can imagine, like, if you
there it is.
There's the bike. If you really wanted to be serious about this as a bike maker, you could make it so that whatever is powering the tag, the AirTag, in fact, the pedal, the act of pedaling this bike provides power, right? Because this is a device with a screen requires a lot of power. So you could make it so that as long as the bike is being used, it's findable.
Right, exactly. As long as it has some kind of power to it, it should last. And again, it's really, really low power, these devices. So, like a watch battery gives it a year of battery life. So it wouldn't take much, I don't think, from a bike standpoint, that's already electric powered for when you don't want to pedal to keep it going.
So Todd, would you buy these?
Yeah, I was planning to buy a couple. Mainly, I have a set of keys because of COVID that I lose them all the time because I'm not really leaving the house. And then when I need them, I don't know where they are. And I found just in the 24 hours I've had them that it was most valuable to me so far just finding things around the house. Like, oh, that's where it was. So keys, for example. And I'm excited to see what it's like when we leave. Again, I used to carry, I don't even know if the company exists anymore. It wasn't a Tile, but it was a similar competitor. I used to carry one of them in my backpack when I was traveling in case somebody just took my bag and ran away with it. I might have an idea of how to get it back. So I'll probably buy a couple for that kind of use case. But I'm curious to see where this goes beyond this too. I think there's opportunity. Like right now, if you talk $29 doesn't mean a whole lot to Apple on sales. So I think more it's like, is Apple going to build a subscription around this the way sort of Tile has? They now allow you to track further, or you can share it with family and friends with these premium plans that start at $2.99 a month. So does Apple go that route, or is it just going to allow you to build it into more things? So do I want to get in on this network now is the question. Like, do I want to start building it out so that when Apple launches other products with it built in, this is the one I'm using versus Tile, which I think is part of the worry for Tile, that all the iPhone users are just going to switch.
I really wish these things were rechargeable, though.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could just plug them in for another year or something. But the battery seems pretty easy to remove. You just twist it, and then you pop it out. See if I can do it right here for you. So all I did was twist it, and then there's a Panasonic CR 2032 that you can find at the store. So
love the show and tell. Love the show and tell. So did this live up? Did this live up to the anticipation? We expected Apple to show us this, like a year ago, or like the rumors around when are we going to see the AirTags? It's been,
the longest running rumor. In some ways, I think so. It was sort of just like this device that you could track things, and that turned out to be true. But there was an early rumor that suggested you might be able to use augmented reality with your phone. So like if you pick up your phone screen and you're looking through the camera, you might see like a balloon, like a 3D balloon pointing exactly where that key is, and walk and go find it. So like a pinpointer. And we didn't get that. So it seems like it's still totally possible. It's just not there yet. So I was thinking about that. And then, just seeing what else Apple does with these. I think one of the most useful cases for me would be to have a size that fits in my wallet instead of trying to squeeze this into my wallet, maybe a card size, which again is something that Tile does. But just different use cases or form factors, again, for, like you were saying earlier, hiding places like in a bike or whatever.
All right. Sounds great. Well, I think we covered it. Todd Haselton, CNBC.com on the new Apple AirTags.
Thank you, John. Have a good day.